So in this video we're going to not look back on 2023, but we're going to use 2023 as more of a springboard to inform us of what may happen in 2024. Now I'm not one for predictions and I'm not that plugged into the whole industry and the whole scene, but there are a few tidbits that I've picked up over the last few months and through the year, and some of the things that the brands have done that tend to repeat. So let's have a go at predicting what's to come in 2024 from some of our favourite brands. I'm Andy and welcome to the English Watch. Now this channel is about me and my watch collecting journey, an amateur enthusiast with an eye for detail, helping like-minded individuals like you start your watch collecting journey. Now if you like this video, why not give it a thumbs up, and while you're at it, why not subscribe? Now it has been a couple of crazy months and I apologise for the lack of content, but hopefully going forward, now that I've got my new desk set up all nice and arranged, whether it stays like this I don't know, but you may notice the angle slightly different. But anyway, now before we get started, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing, this is my 1996 Speedmaster Professional 861 movement, which I recently had serviced with the Watch Professional, and I have to say, for under 300 quid, he did an absolutely sterling job. Didn't have any of the case touched, just replaced the mainspring on the watch. Winds beautifully now, keeps really good time. It really sort of tugs at the heartstrings, but unfortunately I'm going to have to sell it. Not because I have to, but because I want to. I want one with a clear case back, so maybe similar vintage, but I've listed this one on Chrono24. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. It was serviced less than a month ago, so it comes with the best part, a 12 months warranty from the Watch Professional, where I got it serviced in the UK. And I have to say, this is a really good example, and he did comment. So, I mean, only the mainspring was replaced. He said it just needed a good lubrication, which is great to know. And it just goes to show that the Speedy is a tough old bird. So let's get on to the first brand we're going to talk about, and that's Tudor. So Tudor is a watch brand that I've appreciated myself. I owned a Black Bay GMT for a good few years. My wife still owns a Black Bay 36, a watch she's pretty fond of. And I was at a Tudor event last year, can't remember when it was, maybe September time, I think, August, September. And that was a great little event in a local pub, organised by one of the local authorised dealers. Tudor were there, well, at least their local sales people were there. And they had the range. I mean, the ones I like at the moment are like the smooth bezel, time only. You've got the rhodium dial, the blue dial, and they're really nicely detailed dials. Different sizes as well, so there's a size that fits everyone: 36, 39, 41. It's brilliant, really. I also like the burgundy bezeled revised Black Bay as well. I think that's quite a nice watch, and I do keep looking at that one in the shop window. What the rep did say, and obviously they couldn't give away any secrets, they may not know them all, but there was an indication that this year, 2024, was going to be another big year for Tudor. Now, having had a big year last year, I can only imagine that they're going to sort of capitalise on their in-house manufacturing. They're producing more master chronometers now, so really sort of nipping at Omega's heels in terms of the accuracy of their movements. And I think that we're going to definitely see different colours of the new Black Bays. Will we see a revised GMT? I don't know. And I don't think they would change the bracelet until they were going to revise the case. So we may have to wait another year for that. And I think they may concentrate on different colours of the regular Black Bay, so replacing the blue and the black, for example. And I suspect when they do, the GMT will also get revised 58. Again, don't think it's going to be this year, maybe 2025. And part of my reason behind that is we got the opaline dial GMT last year, and it had the same old style bracelet on, without the micro adjustment, without the T-fit. So I find it unlikely that Tudor are going to want to change it so quickly. In terms of which models will be discontinued, which ones will be introduced, I've got no idea. I suspect they'll do something with the Pelagos, the regular Pelagos. I think that's been out for a good few years now. And I suspect, as I said before, that those master chronometer calibers that are made in-house, with Kinesi, they'll start to go into more and more models. Now, before we get on to Rolex, everyone's favourite brand, let's have a little talk about Omega. Now, I'm a massive Omega fan, as you know. But over the last couple of years, some of the releases have left me a little bit cold. Some of the ways that they've released the product, so they've announced product, then really struggled to get it to market. Now, I know they've had issues with the manufacturing of some of those unique dials on the Shades Aquaterras, and I know they've had some other supply issues, but those are the things that were all known ahead of the product releases. So I do lack a little bit of sympathy with companies that do tend to do that. And coming from a manufacturing background, I know all about problems that can occur during the launch of new products. But what Omega have shown us over the last few years, and 2023 was no exception with the release of the Speedmaster Super Racing with that SPI rate regulator, is that they're likely to release a new Speedmaster or a derivative of a Speedmaster, I think, next Tuesday. So not the 2nd of January, but the first proper Tuesday in January. Call it Speedy Tuesday. Now, followers of a lot of the social media platforms out there will have seen the launch of Brooklyn Omega Boutique a few months ago. And Daniel Craig was there, and he was wearing a Speedmaster with a white dial or a silver dial. Now, lots of speculation in terms of what it is. When I was in the Royal Exchange Omega Boutique the other week, and that's an Omega-owned boutique. It's not owned by one of the large chains of authorised dealers. It's actually owned or partially owned by Omega themselves. And he said they were already taking names for this new watch. He wasn't going to say what it was, but nonetheless, they were taking names for it. So don't be surprised if we don't see a white dial or a silver dial Speedmaster Professional come out in 2024, next week. Now, is this the new moon watch? Clearly, NASA want to go back to the moon next year, the year after. I'm not too sure what their plan is. I don't think they do in terms of when things are going to be ready. But could this be the next watch that goes to the moon? We'll see. Now, whilst I was at this boutique, they did have one of these Speedmaster Super Racings as well. And I tried it on, and I think I posted some pictures on Instagram. And I have to say, it's a great watch for a collector in terms of it's quirky, it's got interesting detailing. It's not an everyday. I don't like the chronoscope bracelet. I find it tapers a bit too dramatically. But nonetheless, it was clear to me from what the guy was saying that all Speedmasters going forwards will have that new style bracelet. And I think that's pretty clear in terms of the releases that have come out. And conversely, I think on the Aquaterra, all new Aquaterras coming forward, and hopefully there'll be one this year that follows the 38mm and the 34mm with that sort of bullet style bracelet. And that replaces the, I think, less than premium flat link bracelet we've had on the last two generations of Aquaterra. I think the bracelet's too thin for the case, which is relatively thick, but that thin bracelet just doesn't work for me. And I think adding the chunkier sort of bullet style, I think that'll make it look more proportionally correct. Whilst we were having the conversation, I said, wouldn't it be great if they released a GMT version as well? And he sort of gave me that sort of wink and had that twinkle in his eye that kind of suggested that he knew something, or maybe he was like agreeing, I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, we had a really good discussion about all sorts of things. It's also worth saying that at this particular boutique, and I'm sure it's the same for all the other Omega-owned ones, you have access to discontinued watches. So I was able to buy, although I elected not to at the time because it was a few weeks before Christmas, Trilogy Seamaster 300s. There was a first Omega in space in rose gold, and a few other pieces as well that he couldn't wait to get out and show me. So if you're in the hunt for something that's discontinued and you've seen it on Chrono24 or eBay, worth popping in and having a look and see if they've actually got a new one that they'll sell you for the list price. Now, what else can we expect from Omega this year? Well, I'd like to see the SPI rate system move into more calibers. I would like to think that given the age of the Constellation and the 8900 caliber now, that caliber will be replaced, and it will be the Constellation that takes it first again. So up in the power reserve, up in the accuracy, and using the Constellation as a bit of a springboard in terms of that's the watch that really captured the imagination, in decades past in terms of accuracy awards that were offered. Yes, I'd love to see a Planet Ocean re-edition. I'd like to see some of those sort of smoky dials, gradient dials that the Ultra Deep had. It's nice to have things in different colours. A lot of brands do that. Even Rolex does it. But things like the Ultra Deep, it's a bit more specialist. Why have it in so many variants? Doesn't make any sense to me. And then finally getting on to Rolex. I mean, I could talk about IWC, JLC, but I'm not close to what Richemont do. I mean, IWC released some nice watches last year. They had that weird chronograph that they released towards the end of last year. Oh, it's that special, I can't even remember it. They had the Engineer, which I've still not seen in the flesh. Boutiques tend not to have it. ADs definitely don't have it. So I'm yet to sort of hold one of those in my hands. I have, as you know, tried on a few Portugueses, which I do like. So there could be one of those on the cards. But I don't know. I don't know about those. I think IWC will keep pushing the boundaries in terms of materials. JLC in terms of the refinement and the finishing. Now, I did hear that JLC might put their price up quite a bit again in January, but I don't see any sign of that. And they've certainly had a damn good go at that the last few years, that's for sure. So it will be interesting to see where they go. They're not going to go dead sporty. They're going to stick to what is a very elegant watch. I do like the Polaris, the green dial. Again, I've shown that a million times. Will I buy one? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Rolex. Now, I have no clue what they're going to do. It's even pointless speculating at this point. Obviously, they've just put their prices up. I think most watches in the UK have gone up about, I don't know, 300 quid or something. I'm still looking at the GMT Master 2. It is a watch that I really like in my collection. I'm not going to bust a gut for it. I'm certainly not going to pay over list for it. I'm quite happy to wait. If I get a phone call one day, great. If I don't, I don't. But it is one of those watches that I actually quite like. Anyway, we'll end it there. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave any comments. Let me know what you'd like to see, what you're expecting, or what you know is going to come out. So I'm Andy. This has been The English Watch. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.